Hey folks, I'm talking to Vadim Derksen, and he's the leader of the AfD Berlin branch of the youth wing of the party.
Yes.
And my understanding is you got into a couple of fights with Antifa, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to learn about German Antifa and sort of the things they get up to. So could you tell us the first story? I believe you got stabbed, if that's right.
Yeah, but it didn't hurt. I didn't realize it till the moment I was home and then just put off my jacket and I saw some blood on my arm. Yeah, how did this happen? It was a film festival here in Berlin, and what is it called? The head of the festival, he said, well, we need to have a Holocaust movie there, just so the AfD can watch it and learn from history. So he kind of, that was a, how do you say, Provokation.
Provocation.
Provocation,
Same
yes.
word.
Yeah, okay. It's sometimes so easy. Yeah, so he provoked us, and then we said, well, yeah, we can watch it. We go there and said to him, yeah, give us, he said, he promised us some free tickets. So we said, yeah.
You're like, free movie, let's go.
Yeah, let's go. It was at night, like 10 p.m. or something. So I gathered some guys with me and said, okay, let's go. And we went there, and just about 50 meters close to the theater, some guys rushed out of the bushes there and hit us. They were completely covered in dark clothes, having gloves with like sand or something. You know, do you know these
Combat gloves?
Yeah.
Okay.
One guy had a wine glass with him. He just shuttered it right there at the place and stabbed me with the shaft, or what do you call it, in my arm here. So, and just in the moment when I started to fight back, they just ran away. Okay. So there were some guys injured. They had like batteries also in their hands and bag and like
the bike lock guy from
Yes.
the States.
Yes. The funny part was after that, the media was expecting us at the theater, but because the police came and so on, it took like 2 hours just to write everything down and so on, get some people who saw it and testify that this really happened and we are not making it up. We made a short movie, right, or short recording with our cell phones right at the scene to show, yeah, it happened. And the media was expecting us at the theater, and when we came, I said, hey guys, we were attacked. They said, oh, who are you? Like, we are from the AfD. Okay. They didn't care. They didn't want to ask us or ask for an interview. They just took some pictures and that's it. And the first headline in the newspapers and the next morning was like, AfD didn't show up to the movie, and there was some, how do you say, some yeah, some fight going on next to the theater. I'm like, what? This is totally not the truth.
So were the same guys you had just told were the AfD, we've turned up, sorry we were late? Or was it another newspaper who just...
This was DPA at the scene.
Okay.
So they just, it's an agency for news. They distribute it to every newspaper.
Okay, like the Associated Press or something
yes,
like that. Yeah.
Yes. So, so the alternative media started to write about the incident, and we had also a Jewish guy with us, who went with us to a Holocaust movie, and we brought up the story in the alternative media and said, look, Jewish people get attacked in Berlin again.
But this time from the anti-fascists.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, and the media just started kind of slowly coming up with the truth, and then I got the first calls from bigger newspapers. How did it happen? And then the funny part was one journalist said to me, well, that was a fake Jew probably you had with you. I'm like, what?
What's a fake Jew?
Like
make him define it.
yeah, he said, well, yeah, probably only his dad is Jewish and not his mom or something like that. You know,
What?
Yes, he came up with very funny statement and yeah. So, but in the end, it revealed the whole story and. That's where I saw, okay, the alternative media does help and can achieve something to
Yeah.
reveal truth.
The stories the mainstream won't or isn't interested in, the alternative will cover. So
Yes.
you can take it to them. Okay, so the attack itself. I mean, how many? I mean, you got.
We were
injured.
like 5 guys. We were attacked. I didn't count it because it was very fast. They rushed out and backed up and went in different directions. There were also about probably 5 to 7 guys. So every one of us was busy.
Okay, but they were waiting for you in the bushes. I mean,
Yes.
was it
So
sort of vaguely close to the cinema?
kind
that
of.
they,
I don't know how this happened, how they knew we were coming, but definitely there must be. They must have observed us before when we walked there to see which route
they
we're
might have
gonna
been
take.
stalking you or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the guy who got shot in Portland. He was waiting for him and then came out.
Oh yeah.
So it might be that they saw you and then waited and then.
Exactly.
Okay.
So there was only one way to get to the theater, but you could take any side of the road. So yeah, that's why they had to look at it and see which road we take, and then
Did anyone get prosecuted out of it? Like
no,
not one.
not one. The police, they asked every guy of us what happened. They recorded everything and stuff. I asked if they have some surveillance cameras and stuff. They didn't have it, although there's a metro right next to it. But the guys, they were also covered completely in black and it was dark outside.
Part of the black box uniform
Yes,
that they wear.
like
basically.
like masks.
Okay. Yeah, so that's. I'm imagining that's how you identified that it's Antifa types.
Exactly. They called us also Nazis and stuff. You know?
Okay. Yeah. Typical, just ideological shouting as they
Yes,
fight
yes,
you.
yeah.
Okay. Jesus. So did the museum? Not the museum. Did the what was it? Did the theater guy find out about this?
Definitely, because the press was there, big press in the end. But he didn't respond to this in any way.
All of a sudden, he's not interested to hear
Yeah.
the AfD came. Okay.
Yeah.
So has this been a problem for you elsewhere? Is at AfD events with the, I don't know how many events you have, but are
Yeah.
they always attacked by Antifa
It
types?
happens on a regular basis, let's say. Like in the beginning, especially when we just were when we were founded as a party and we started to have like stands in the city with some flyers and information. We didn't have any security at that time.
So this is when you're campaigning. You're not even doing
exactly. When
a demo or a march. You're just out doing what
you have a
political party
stand there, a
does.
table or something, and you try to start talking to people. This is what we did in the beginning very often, and still do. But in the beginning, the attacks were really hard and coordinated. You could tell that because they had a strategy for example, sending one guy to this booth or whatever, and then starting conversations without maybe aggressively. So all the focus goes on him. At that moment, they rush in, destroy everything, and maybe even hit you and stuff like that, and then disappear or even block it. Also, again, covered completely in black and shouting and so on. Yeah.
It's the heckler's veto. So they drown out the ability to have you campaign.
Yeah.
Okay.
And people.
Is this how often does this happen?
Not. I don't know, but in the beginning more often. Now maybe not so much. Sometimes I think they get just tired of it, and someone has to win in the end. So if you keep campaigning all the time, on a regular basis. Sometimes they just, okay, so at some point they say it's useless to come.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you think they get the message eventually that you're not going to go away?
Yeah.
You're not going to be bullied? Right.
Same what's happening with events at restaurants or so. So the owners get attacked, not we, but the owners. If we release the address or so, say, okay, we're gonna meet there. They destroy his windows. They maybe destroy even his car, just to make him not let us in. Yeah, and then if he has the balls to stay there and letting us in, this will disappear. Yeah, they stop the attacks.
Well, it's good to hear that at least you can just stand up to them and they slowly get the message.
Yeah,
Because it seems to be, at least in the US, somewhat in the UK as well, we've had these kind of things where it's bad enough when they go out rioting, but when they're attacking political parties engaged in the democratic process, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
Yeah.
that is the way politics is meant to work.
exactly.
But we haven't learned that lesson that you need to just say, no, we're not giving in on this.
There was a pro-life march here. It wasn't from the AfD party, but the pro-life marches get attacked on the same way as we do. And I was also participating there. And somehow I hate demonstrations already, because I always some kind of get involved in somewhere, and I don't want to, but I don't know. It happened again that they blocked a street there, the Antifa, and you.
So they blockaded the march, like you guys are marching up, and then
Yes,
they ran
and
out.
they sit on the street, and so you cannot go by, and the police has to call some upper departments to get the permission to get them away and so on. So they rather try to maneuver us around them instead of pushing them away. So, and there was just a little narrow way to get through. In this position, they just in front of me, like maybe 2 meters, 3 meters, an older guy, an elderly man, like 70 years old or something like that. He looked old. He was there walking, and then 2 guys jumped up and just pushed him very hard, so he hit the floor. And at this moment, I got so angry about that. I had this wooden cross in my hands, and I rushed to them, like with my cross. I mean, you see me. I'm almost.
Were you dressed as a crusader? Like.
So they got scared. They ran into a niche of a house. They couldn't escape. I grabbed them both. They hit me, destroyed my glasses. But the police saw it, and the police caught it on camera and said, "Okay, don't worry, we saw it. They attacked. You got them here. That's very fine." And for me, it was interesting to see how the police treated us differently. Wieder Anzeige stellen. Wie heißt Anzeige stellen?
Press charges.
Yeah, they press charges on me. So the police is forced to keep me to the moment they write down everything, and so.
So did they arrest you?
They had to,
Okay.
because they pressed charges on me. So I had to come with them, with the police. But
they didn't detain and arrest the guys who had pushed the old man.
They also arrested the guys,
Okay.
but they handcuffed them and put them in the cages. And I could just stand there. They didn't handcuff me. They just said, "Okay, we trust you. You will stay here, and we can't go." And they and they sat me in front of in the police car with them together, and the guys were in the back in the cages. That was a very funny moment. Yeah, an experience to see. Okay, and then we talked in the car with the police, and they were just like upset about the Antifa. They said, These guys, they're nuts. We can't stand them, and so on. And I could openly talk about my engagement in the party and so on, and they were very positively open to that.
So the police get this. They have to deal with them a lot, and they know what they're like.
Exactly. And if you saw, I mean, when did you arrive in Berlin? Like on Friday?
We saw the same day. It was some squat or something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what was going on.
Exactly, and also in the night, like all the Antifa, the black bloc was out there protesting. The police knows exactly who's the bad guy, who's the good guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing they've done in regards to, I suppose not necessarily the AfD, but the sort of things you've seen they've been up to in Germany?
So one deputy of us here in the Bundestag, they attacked that he had an open flesh wound here with, I don't know how they did that, but it even got caught on camera. So it looked horrible, but he's well now. Another guy, he's not in the AfD, but he was on some protest. I don't know which one, but what happened there? They attacked him, and they got these air guns, which are legal, which you can carry.
Airsoft guns, like BBs?
Yeah, kind of like that.
Okay.
And they held it here in the what's called forehead, not forehead, but here in the
Okay.
in this area here, and they shot him. I don't know, a couple times. So he was in coma for a long time.
Oh,
So
wait, you mean
almost-
like the metal guns? It shoots a little metal pellet.
No, not metal, but gas, only gas.
Oh,
you
okay,
know?
which is gas powered.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can kill somebody if you hold it right to the head. So they shot him, and he almost died. Yeah.
Okay, Jesus. Was he a political figure or was he just on like that?
He Gewerkschaft, wie heißt das?
Union.
U- Union?
Union.
Yeah, like he was in a union, a right-wing union. They found it there, and there was.
The right-wing unions?
No.
Yeah, there's a right-wing union. Yes.
Wow, okay. Don't have any of them in England, but
Yeah, they just were founded. I don't know, maybe a year or two ago, because the unions here are all left.
yeah.
So they said, okay, we need something else.
What do you think can be done with these Antifa cells, and particularly in the ones that
First of all, you
are
have
very
to,
bad?
how do you say, drain the swamp.
Drain the swamp?
Yeah.
Well, where's the swamp? Is it the central government? Is it local
the
police?
government which funds them with money and then gives them a lot of money, and this has to stop, because as soon as this stops, they don't have anything they can live on. I don't know how this works in the United States, how they get funded, but here it's definitely the government who's supporting them.
Yeah, I spoke to, I can't remember his name, but he's an expert on this, and he went through the process in which they make literally millions of euros available to higher places and things like
Yes.
this.
Even though they have different projects, they call them diversity project, blah blah, or some against right extremism.
Yeah, fighting hate,
blah
fighting
blah,
racism,
yeah,
blah,
hate
blah, blah.
speech and so on. And these projects get funded always by a year. Like, so they have to write down what they plan to do, so they get the money. And some deputies here from the left even said, "Oh, this is a horrible status quo we have, because they have always to beg for money every year. We have just to fund them regularly. Just let them get the money without asking every year."
Sorry,
So
so it was some kind of leftist organization that was like, oh, we have to beg for public money all the time.
Yeah.
Why can't we just get it? And then they
Exactly.
agreed to just give them every year?
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's money well spent. I'm
Yes.
sure it's funding great. So defund them, essentially. Defund Antifa.
Absolutely.
Which I don't like. I don't think anyone else has this problem. Like I don't even think the British government does anything this silly. But okay. But what about?
Do you have the Antifa in?
Yeah, British Antifa is pretty shit compared to the Germans or the French or the Americans. Mostly because they're British and they I think they know they shouldn't be rude, and so they'll storm into a building or a lecture or something.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much about it.
Okay.
A couple of assaults, but nothing serious yet.
Yeah.
Although that might get worse.
Okay.
As we've seen in the US. But what do you think about some of the more extreme stuff they've done? Because I swear there was a guy who was given an anti-racism award And then like a year later, they arrested him, and he was I think he was making either Molotovs or bombs in a mobile van.
Oh, what was that?
I'll have to dig it out, but I remember it was a German guy.
I don't know.
But more serious cases like this.
Yeah.
Do you think this warrants calling them a terrorist group, or do you think
It
it's
should,
too far?
but as soon as you use force and violence to get your political views into the public.
So assaulting you guys when you're
Exactly.
when you're putting out flyers.
It's a terrorist organization. They try to work with fear, scare people. These are attributes which are just used, or let's say that's what the methods terrorists use. You have to be scared of for your life, for your family, and so on. These methods are used by terrorists, so they are definitely terrorists. Funny story also with the house here. Wie heißt das auf Englisch? Dieses besetzte Haus.
Squats?
Yeah, with
The squatting house. Yeah.
So the neighborhood is completely left, or liberals, let's say.
A leftist area of
A leftist area.
Berlin.
But some of them grow up, have families, and they say, "Okay, I'm still left. I'm still voting for the Greens or left parties. But I have a family, and now I want to have a flat here. So some neighborhood grew up and became more, how do you say,
Gentrified?
Yeah, kind of
guess,
like
yeah.
that. Gentrified, yes. And now these extreme far left guys, they fight them. Fight them with.
They're fighting the Antifa guys.
No. The other way around. The Antifa is fighting the neighborhood.
Because they own property.
Yeah, they're capitalists now. They even shot in like metal balls into the windows in the children rooms and so on, and destroy always the windows, spray on the houses and so on. So the neighborhood which votes always left gets the fruits of voting for left. Yeah.
So what are they doing though with squats? Are they trying to occupy them and then, I don't know, make them free? Why are they setting squats up in the middle of Berlin?
This is historical, like when the GDR came down. GDR,
Yeah.
when it came down, many houses were empty, so people just moved in and didn't pay any rent. Especially the leftists did that, and by the time it was better and better, and the houses they got owners and so on, and some houses are still left, and which are occupied by these leftists. Yeah.
Okay. One of the things I find strange here is that I spoke to the other guy, and he said that the culture here seems to not understand that these guys are definitely the bad guys. You know, you may call yourself anti-fascist, but your actions, you're definitely acting as a fascist. You're not for liberalism, you're not for democracy. I would have thought, at least in the East German, former East German sections, people would understand this. I mean, particularly in Berlin.
They do.
But so random people, average people, understand that these guys are definitely the bad guys.
In East Germany, I would say yes, because
But it's the former West Germans that.
yes, they say that's fine. I mean, we are all anti-fascists and whatever.
Yeah. Fascism's just an idea.
Yeah.
Anti-fascism.
Yeah. Antifa doesn't exist.
Because it's one of my favorite facts that the Berlin Wall in East Germany wasn't called the Berlin Wall, obviously.
Yeah,
It was the anti-fascist protection rule.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
and somehow they are against Nazis, so everything what's against Nazis is good.
yeah.
Because history, the German history, never should be repeated.
But the former East Germans get it. They understand that this is just more socialist nonsense, whereas the West Germans, liberals who haven't really cottoned on.
I would say the situation is more complex. In the West, they vote very diverse. The left parties, there are many left parties. Let's say Die Linke, which means the left, the Green Party, and there's the social, let's say the Labour Party.
Yeah, Social Democratic Party.
Yeah, they're all left, and then they have kind of the same ratings. In the eastern part, it's more divided. That's where we have the highest rates in Germany, but also
For the
left.
AfD or
Yeah,
okay.
the AfD, but also the left party has the highest rates. There.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So you've got people nostalgic and people who understand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. The eastern part people, they vote for the left party because that's what they used to vote all the time. Mostly it's they are the older people who vote for them, but the younger generation is voting for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting to know.
Yeah.
Actually, it kind of reminds me of Russia. I mean, Russian democracy is a sham anyway. But the second biggest party is still the Communist Party of Russia.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just all the people who are nostalgic about.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same, by the way, in West Germany, where the Christian Party was always on top, and now they're falling down. But the voters are old people who still keep.
They keep them propped up.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for doing your service and fighting Antifa. they deserve it because these people
Yes,
are
definitely.
like
It's a pleasure.
Don't start it, but if they attack you, just keep
Exactly.
fighting. Keep fighting.
Exactly.
Yeah. Good to meet you.